Today we start a journey. We're about to begin building an Engage model railway. Fancy joining me? So what exactly are my aims for Malcolm's Way? Well, first and foremost, I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to learn how to do stuff. It's going to be quite a steep learning curve for me. Wider point? Nope. Had a running layout, other than the train set that goes round in a loop? Nope. So it's going to be one hell of a steep learning curve, but I cannot wait to do it. I want to create a small little slice of southern England on the Reading to Red Hill line via Guildford. Up in the Surrey Hills, beautiful, picturesque, and Engage. I think we should be able to achieve that quite nicely. But this video is not going to be a how-to, it's how I do. If you can learn from my experiences, my mistakes, my mess-ups, fantastic. But we can all learn together. Put stuff in the comments below, and we can grow and learn together. This will be very much my layout as much as yours. So this brings me on to the name Malcolm's Way. Why exactly is the layout going to be called Malcolm's Way? Well, my late Uncle Malcolm really was a father figure to me. The reason I never grew out of Thomas. And we all have superheroes and he was mine. Sadly, he was taken from us far too soon. So Malcolm's Way will be the layout he never actually got to build. He left me a hell of a lot of stuff in his will. And I'm going to take this and use this and build the layout he never got a chance to do. So this one is for you, buddy. I never forget that day I went down to his house in Cornwall and I saw the new, at the time, N-Class from Graham Farish, and he also had the Farish 4MT and a warship sitting there. And my mind just went, how can something this small be this detailed and run so well? I was hooked from that moment on. OO gauge I wasn't interested in anymore, and N-Gauge was my new future scale. I really can't thank him enough for what he's done for me, so this one's for you, buddy. I hope you're going to be proud of it. So where basically is Malcolm's Way going to be modelled? Well, I did allude earlier on that I'm going to do a small slice of southern England, namely on the Reading to Red Hill line via Guildford. Now, as you get into the Surrey Hills, the scenery up there can be quite spectacular, and I really want to try and recreate that in Engage. We do have the room to be able to have the train in the scenery rather than the train itself dominating the train set, which I think Engage is phenomenal for. The average coach length on the Reading to Red Hill line, North Downs as it was known, is between 3 and 6 coaches. We have plenty of space to be able to get that in, and I will be going into a future video about stock formation, etc, etc. But loco wise, we can have N classes, BR standards, 9Fs even came through on freights, Hymex, warships, even up to the hydraulic Western, and everything in between. So we're going to have the C class in there, hopefully a T9 one day. And if anybody makes it, Farish, Dapholt, if you're listening, an S15 would be lovely. As it does have the Reading connection, the Western engines also came down to keep the route knowledge up for the crew, so a Manor and a Mogul. Happy days. Plenty of variation, and I've got a lot of that stock already. Alright then, this brings me on to the baseboard sizes. Each board is going to be 4 foot by 3.5 foot, and we've got 3 of them at the moment. So we've got a 12 foot by 3.5 layout in total. We build it in sections simply for storage reasons and also ease of building in a smaller room, which I am in at the moment. But plans are afoot to house the layout in a larger building later date. Big shout out to Dino for building the baseboards for me. Now some say that he does piss excellence. Sorry Joe, I had to get it in there. I know how much you love it. But big thank you to Dean for building the baseboards for me. They are superb. And I did say that this was going to be from start to finish. But if we do want a video on how to build a baseboard, I'm sure we can hook up Dean to teach us how to build it and do a small tutorial. So then, baseboard's done. We need to now start looking at track. In the fiddle yard, I will be using Pico code 55. Could have used code 80, but I made the mistake of finding the Fine Tracks track system on the Engage forum. And again, my mind was just blown, and I had to have it for the scenic section. It looks so detailed and so realistic. But the fiddle yard will be Pico code 55. I've seen some superb layouts built with this track system. Absolutely no qualms about it. You can get some phenomenal results with it. But I wanted to take the layout to the extra level and take it to that next step of realism. Point control. Well, Pico go very well with the Gauge Master SEEP point motors. They're reliable, easily available, and they just work, which is what I want for the fiddle yard. We will be doing future videos on planning the fiddle yard and as we start this build as we go along. Track control. What are we going to be using? Well, DCC. I like the idea of driving the train rather than track, and also you do have the advantage of lights, sound, which for me really add to the experience of the model railway. I'll be using a ZTC controller handed down by my uncle, more than sufficient at the moment, although we may look to upgrade it at a later date. But for now, the ZTC does everything and more that I want. Plus, I enjoy playing with it. It really is a nice unit to use. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm's Way will be DCC. While we're here, I forgot to mention the points on the scenic section. Now, being hand built, well, kit built, they will be quite fragile. The seat point motors are fantastic in the fiddle yard because they've got quite a snappy action. No one's going to see it. But on the scenic section, again, they are hand built. So we'll be going with servos and using the Mega Point system. Once again, in a later video, we're going more depth of how that all works and how I install it onto the layout. You may have noticed that I have been adding some pictures of the real life railway from the Reading to Red Hill line, and a huge thank you to Charlie Verrill for allowing me use of the pictures. I will be putting a link to his Flickr down below in the description, and also a link to his free Amazon books, which are absolutely superb. The website also by the late David Hay, invaluable source of information, and there's some cracking stories on there for you to read. So huge thank you to Charlie for allowing me to use these images, and we will be using these throughout the future videos. It gives us a great idea of what we're trying to achieve, and it gives you a break from looking at my ugly mug. So there we have it then, ladies and gentlemen. That's the introduction to Malcolm's Way finished. I hope you have enjoyed and looking forward to what we're going to do with this train set. Again, it is very much a documentation for myself, but I want to bring you guys along for the ride, and hopefully we have a bit of fun together, putting together this Engage model railway. And this is going to be very much a how I do rather than a how to. But if you guys can learn from my mistakes, my successes, fantastic, all the better for it. We have the comment section below as well, so we can learn together, give you suggestions of what you think I can do better, and also what we can improve for the next set of videos. Any advice and help would be very much appreciated. So now for the usual YouTube spiel. If you have enjoyed this video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. If you hit the bell icon next to it, you'll be updated whenever I post a video, which I do hope is going to be roughly around every 2 weeks. If you've enjoyed it as well, please hit that like button. It really will help the channel out in the long run. Any comments, pop it down in the comment section below and I will do my very best to get back to you. Finally, if you think somebody else might enjoy this, please do consider sharing it with your friends and family. So this has been Malcolm's Way. I've been Matt, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.